Did you know that about 30% of people fail these finance exams in their first try? So that means that out of 50 people, 15 don't pass on their first try. Hi, my name is JC Franco, and I passed all these 4 exams: the SIE, the Series 7, the Series 66, and the Life and Health Insurance exam in the last couple of months. And today I want to show you what worked for me. In this video, I'm not going to share with you formulas or definitions specifically. I'm going to share with you strategies and mindsets that allow me to get through these exams and pass all these 4 exams. So whether you're starting your licensing journey or you're half through, stick around. I think this video is going to be helpful, especially tip number 7. It really helped me get through all these exams, especially when I want to give up. So without further ado, these are 7 tips and mindsets that allow me to pass these 4 exams. Tip number 1, numero uno, schedule your exam. Set a date, lock in the date. This is going to create a sense of urgency, and it's going to force you to start studying. If you don't have a deadline, most likely you're going to be procrastinating. So make sure you have a date and try to make sure that you stick with it. So depending on the exam, this is how long I study. For the SIE, it took me about 3 to 4 weeks. For the Series 7, about 4 to 6 weeks. For the Series 66, about 3 to 5 weeks. And for the Life and Health Insurance exam, it took me about 3 to 4 weeks. So I'll suggest to stick around these timelines, depending on what you're doing, if you're working full time or you're very busy. But try to schedule your exam depending on how much time you have to study and how much you think you know already. But it's super important to schedule the exam so you have that sense of urgency, since you already paid for the exam and you have to take it anyway. Tip number 2, use the right material. I use Kaplan for my Series 7 and the 66, as well as Achievable, but I use more Achievable to study and read the material and understand the concepts. And then for Kaplan, I use the question bank, which are pretty good, are very similar to the actual exams. So I'll suggest you use those 2. There are other resources, but for me, those 2 work very well. Also, during my commute, I used to listen to Series 7 Guru and also Capital Advantage, which they have really good videos on Series 7 and 66. And then in the age of AI, you gotta use some sort of AI tutor. In my case, I use ChatGPT. I use it for the Series 66 as well as the Life and Health Insurance exam. Ask them questions and try to really break down the topics, and it really helped me understand the concepts and really make sense of them. So in my opinion, don't just rely on one source, try to mix it up and see what works for you. In my case, it was a mix of Kaplan, Achievable, YouTube videos, and then ChatGPT. Try to mix it up. Tip number 3, build a plan. You have to have a plan in mind and have a game plan that is going to push you through. It's like they say, if you fail to plan, you're planning to fail, right? So make sure you know what days are you going to study, what times of the days, maybe in the morning, maybe afternoon, whatever works for your schedule, and try to stick to it. That's very important. Try to stick to that schedule. Keep up with the rhythm. It's going to help you get through. In my case, I gave myself 1 day off every week, maybe Saturday or Sunday, just to reset a little bit and just to have it as a day off. And otherwise, during the other 6 days, I will study most of the time on my phone or my computer or on my iPad, but I'll be always doing questions. Just remember, it's just for a couple of months, so just try to push through, stay consistent, keep studying. Also, one thing that it worked for me is to have block times where I will just close all my apps, block my phone, all distractions off, and I'll just do questions or study the material. Try to stick with it and just try to move distractions away so you're able to focus or not have any other option than just take the exams or do the questions or read the material. Tip number 4, questions and more questions. I personally believe that the real learning and memorization happen while doing the questions. It was important for me to read the material and understand the concepts, but the most important for me was to do the questions, and that's where I really learned. It really helped me know that I was doing the right thing. While I was doing these questions and I was getting them right, it gave me more confidence to continue, and I felt like good since I was getting these questions right. You kind of feel that you want to continue and keep going. I was really trying to do as many questions as I could about the topics that I wasn't doing very well, and just the ones I was doing well, also do it, so I kind of feel good doing them because I was getting them right. but just do a lot of questions. Try to go through the material quickly and then focus on questions. I personally, one thing was I treat questions as social media. Instead of scrolling through social media, I'll just scroll through questions. I'll be blocking all my distracting apps or social media apps. I'll just focus on doing questions for a specific amount of time. Maybe for like 2 hours or so, I will block everything and then just do questions. Another tip during questions is that you do short quizzes. Instead of doing long quizzes, which might be intimidating, just do short quizzes so you finish right away and you don't have to wait a long time to see the results of your answers. One more thing, make sure you set it up so you get the answer immediately, so you don't have to wait till you finish the exam to go over the question review and what answers did you get right. So if you just do a question, you know right away if you got it wrong or right, and you know what the correct answer is. This is gonna save you a lot of time. This made a big difference to me. Tip number 5, accountability is key. Make sure you have a friend, a partner, family member that you're checking with every week or every other week to see how you're doing, how's your studying going, if you're actually sticking with your schedule or you're staying behind. But make sure to be honest. Me personally, I had a group of friends or a group of colleagues, I'll say, that every week we'll get together and see how did we do the previous week, whether we study, whether we did quizzes, whether we didn't study at all. At least we'll be accountable to that group and we'll share our experiences, and it kind of helps you feel some sort of companionship during your journey. Again, it's just to keep yourself accountable and keep yourself going. Tip number 6, trick yourself into studying. If you're like me, you don't like to study. So you gotta trick your brain to thinking that you're not studying, but you're studying. What worked for me was using my phone to study and do questions, because I don't associate using my phone with studying. So it kind of felt easy on my body, easy on my mind, just to be on the phone and reading the material, but I didn't feel that pressure of sitting in the desk and actually going through the material and doing the questions in the desk. I was like on the sofa, laying on my bed, just going for a walk. I'll be using my phone and doing a lot of questions. And again, just studying short periods of time, like 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes, and then take a break and then maybe do something else and then go back to it. And also, if you want to trigger yourself into study, you got to block all distractions. You got to block all those social media apps. And when I say I block them, you have to block them so you cannot use them for that period of time while you're studying. That's going to put you in an option where the only thing you can do is to study. So that's what you're going to end up doing most likely. Tip number 7, know your why. Why are you doing this? Who are you doing it for? Are you doing it for yourself? Are you doing it to impress somebody else? I don't know. Whatever is your why, make sure you know why you're doing this. Why are you going through this material? What's the purpose? What's the goal? Are you getting a bonus? Are you getting a better job? Do you need to take these exams to stay in your current job? Whatever is your why, make sure you know it always within you, because that's going to keep you pushing through the material. Because sometimes the material is pretty dry and you're always going to be wondering, why am I studying this? Is this even worth it? There were moments where I was like, you know what? I'm quitting. I don't want to continue with this. Like, this doesn't make much sense. I don't understand the questions, so I don't understand the material. But just keep pushing through until you start slowly getting better at doing the questions, at understanding the material. Because there's going to be times where the material is going to feel very dry, to be honest. Within your why, for me, I'm a person of faith. I believe in God. And if you're a person of faith who believes in God, you got to know that for every effort you put, for every word you read, for every page you finish, for every question you do, for every quiz you take, God's going to reward you for that. So remember always that every step you take is worth it. God will reward you for that accordingly. Remember, you're not alone. Keep Him close to you. Walk next to Him. For me, that was crucial, especially when I wanted to quit. I said, okay, God, I'm going to continue for 5 more minutes and hopefully I'll be able to just get the next question right. Honestly, this is what kept me going, because sometimes I was wondering, in the age of AI, why am I even trying to take these exams? Is it going to be worth it in 1, 2, 3 years with AI changing so fast? But I stick with it and I believe in God. I believe that every effort I take, He was going to reward me for that. Well, thank you guys for watching this video. If you get to this point, know that you're not alone. Keep studying, keep pushing. maybe watch this video again so it can give you some strategy or motivation, or just keep you moving forward. Remember, these are not hard exams, but you have to pass them. Like, you have to study, you have to do the questions, you have to put the effort. It's not like you just show up and pass it. For most of us, right? Remember, about 70% pass the exam the first try, so 30 people fail out of 100. So if you found this video useful, subscribe, like, share with your friends or whoever is taking these licensing exams. And I want to know, what exams are you currently taking and what are you studying on? Comment below with what exams are you planning to take, or what was your process like. Without anything else to say, see you until next one. God bless.